In Ephesians chapter 4, there are a lot of good things in there, but God tells us, or Paul tells us, God through Paul tells us how he gives gifts to the church, and we can talk about that in terms of apostles and evangelists and prophets and pastors, teachers. But also, he's talking about us coming to the unity of the faith, till we come to the stature of the fullness of Christ. In verse 15 of chapter 4, he says, and this is breaking into the thought, and you need to read the whole section to actually get the fullness of it. But in verse 15, something really, it's a part that's really important we're going to look at and focus on. He says, but speaking the truth in love may grow up in all things into him who is the head, Christ. And I just wanted us to think about just the simple little things in this verse. When he talks about speaking the truth in love, he's not telling you need to tell people the truth even if it hurts. That's not the context here. The whole context, as he says in the last part of the verse, is growing up and becoming just like Jesus, who is the head. We're the body, he is the head. And this is not just some sort of spiritual concept. There's a literal reality to that. And when you identify and see that you as the body are part of Jesus, you are his body. Just like you can take your body. It's part of you. It's not something separate from you. It's not something that's different from you. It is literally what you're made of. And so when Jesus looks at you, and as Paul goes on later in the next chapter and tells about the mystery, which he's using husbands, wives, but he's saying to explain it. But the mystery is Christ and the church, and the bride being the bride. He is the husband and we are the bride. But he's making the point that we are body of his body and flesh of his flesh, bone of his bones. This is a literal thing, that we are his body. He lives in and through us. His place as the head, which we're growing up into. In verse 15 of chapter 4 here, he's telling us he is the head. He's what we follow. He is what moves us. This is what everything that comes forth out of us is dependent upon the head. He is everything. So when he is the husband, he is the one from whom our lineage comes from. It comes through us as his flesh and comes out looking like him. And so he says here, speaking the truth in love, we grow up in him who is the head, Christ. Speaking the truth in love isn't, like I said, telling somebody the truth even though it hurts. This is living and letting what comes forth from you be the truth. Now, Jesus himself is the truth. And so what he says and what he declares is what is true no matter what. And when you and I live according to what he says and what he has declared, which is your freedom, your redemption, your holiness, your blamelessness, your righteousness, your belovedness, you live by that truth and you let that be what you speak, because I guarantee, and we've all experienced it, you have felt at different times very different than all of those things. But speaking the truth, letting that come forth from your mouth, from your life, is how we grow up in him. Because he is the one who speaks into us, declares how precious, valuable, loved, worthy that each of us is to him. And so speak that truth. Don't speak other truth. Don't speak less than. Don't speak lies, because truth is defined by Jesus, not by how you feel and how things seem, what other people say. And as we speak and live according to the truth that he declares, we grow up in him. And as John says, which we've been in 1 John chapter 4, he says in there that we be as he is, that we are now as he is. In this world, we are as he is. And this is what we are destined for. This is what is our identity. And we're still growing up in it. So it's an already, but not yet full. And that's what this growing up is, by speaking the truth in love, which is God's love for you, Jesus' love for you, declared by his very incarnation, his life, and his declaration of how precious and wonderful you are.